Hello, everyone. I am excited to bring you the next interview in my Be Good to You video series with my new friend, Leah Gabriel, that we have just met recently. And she is a busy mother of three and has uh, done work her adult life as a nurse practitioner and a mom and wife and all of these things. And so I'm just so excited, Leah, that you are here today to be interviewed. So thank you so much for agreeing to do that.
Well, thank you, Kristen, for having me. I'm so excited to be here and get to talk some more with everyone.
Absolutely. Well, let's get this started. So share with me your health story and how you weren't being good to you.
So my health story really goes back to my teen years, as many people do. And my junior year was the first time that I can really remember not being good to me. And literally, I looked at my self-esteem and my self-worth based on my appearance. And that drove everything. I dieted even as a young teenager at 16, 17, because I was so worried about the impression that everybody got. And just like everyone, I was an emotional eater, boredom eater, anxiety eater. And so my weight ebbed and flowed oftentimes based on my emotions and my relationships. And so this really kept up sadly until May of this year, 2018, 38 years of age, when all of a sudden the light bulb went off as I was holding my third daughter, and I wanted better for her. I wanted her to see a mama who was healthy and strong and made good choices. And I just sat there knowing that I had fallen terribly short of that. And I think the thing that really got me there is I had really dug deep during my last pregnancy because I was heavy, I was miserable. And so I was really looking at what does scripture say about how I'm to treat myself. And 1 Corinthians 6, 19 and 20, where God talks about our body as a temple and the Holy Spirit dwells in me, and how I'm treating my body is important because I was bought with a price, and that I had to honor God with my body. And I'm like, shoot, I haven't honored God with my body and many other things in my life. And I started to look at, how do I set the priorities straight? What does being good to me look like? And I honestly had no clue. So I started looking at people who I respected, people who were of faith and people who were healthy. And I kept seeing one particular person, Pete Drury, who would later go on to be not only a good friend, but help me figure out what being good to me looked like. But it was just an amazing turn of events, and how he showed me how I could take that 1 Corinthians 6, 19 and 20 and really live that and be a better example for my girls, so that I could be around to watch them grow up and I could see them have a good example. So hopefully they weren't having to live through the same things I did, and they could be good to them and know that that was okay. So like I said, I am still a work in progress and have a long ways to go, but I'm closer now than I have been in almost 20 plus years. So that's exciting to me.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, I think we forget that this is the one body we'll have, and for some reason we like to beat it with a hammer every so often, right? And think, oh, it'll be fine. I can walk around with a couple of bruises and stuff like that. But we really, when we start to actually feed it and nourish it and mentally work on what's eating us, not what we're eating.
And I think you're absolutely right. The piece that I always missed was the mind. And the mind is so powerful. And until I started working on getting things right in my head, I couldn't get things right in my heart. And then I couldn't get things right as a follow through. And so for me, there's been so much progress that everybody sees weight wise, but so much more has gone on between my ears. And I think that truly, in all the times I've looked at getting healthy, the difference between those past times and now is the mindset that I'm going through, and the daily challenge of my thoughts that I'm doing. And are they going to get me to that goal of health and being an example for my girls? And as I've put that into play, it's made it easier for me to put to rest things that need to be put to rest that oftentimes stood in my way of progress and would lead to that cycle of I'm going to eat more and drown my anxiety and my emotions in my food. And so that's been a very big experience.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So on that note, what on a daily basis now do you do for your mental well-being and creating good habits that you're being good to yourself?
Well, this is still developing and evolving, but the first thing, I spend the beginning of every day and the end of every day in prayer, whether that be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just recognizing that I need help and that God cares for me more than I can even care for myself is a good frame of mind for me to put myself into, often with devotional, especially in my morning hours. And that just really sets the tone for my day. While I'm doing that, I'm practicing, habits that I've learned are going to have to be part of me if I want to continue to be in this healthy state. So my water, I have gone from drinking maybe 16 ounces a day to 90 ounces is my minimum. I know that that's where I feel the best. I think the best. I sleep better if my hydration is spot on. And so it's 90 ounces for me. I challenge myself daily. I have a job that several days a week I'm sitting. So I get up and I walk every hour and I hit that 10,000 steps a day because I know that helps with my mental health and keeps my head clear. My other big thing is getting outside. If I'm not outside, I just feel suffocated by the walls around me. And so for me, being good to me has been getting outdoors. And even if it's for a 5-10 minute walk, huge difference in how I'm able to handle myself, conduct myself and my thoughts. And then the final one, I think, Kristen, I heard you say this, was self-care is not selfish. And for a long time, I thought I had to take care of everyone else. As a nurse practitioner, that was my title. As a mom, that was my title. As a wife, that was my title. And you know what? I got to where I was pouring from an empty cup. And I was absolutely ineffective in all of those roles. And so I have started taking time for me, whether that be getting a haircut, taking a warm shower, sitting and getting a pedicure, manicure, whatever that looks like. But pouring into me has made it easier for me to give of myself. And that has been so rewarding, both mentally and physically, because the relationships that I have with my husband, with my girls, with my patients, I think has improved as my health and being good to me has improved.
Yeah. When you are good with yourself, when you are mentally good with yourself, it's easy to pour into others and to give 100%. I think as moms, sometimes it's not a cup, it's a colander, and we're just trying to stay above that first line of circles,
Yes.
So, so to be able to actually pour from a cup is, that's exciting.
No. And I totally agree, because before this process of what does it look like to be good to me? What does health look like? There was nothing. I had nothing to give to the people that I wanted to. And like I said, that wasn't a healthy place. That wasn't a healthy mindset either. And so, it's funny how it's all come full circle. And in order to take care of others, I have to first take care of myself. And that was a huge awakening.
Absolutely. So, so my final question for you
Sure.
is what advice would you give to others to encourage them to be good to themselves?
I think you have to find your why. And for me, I thought all of these years that my why, as far as health, was being whatever it was in my mind I thought I needed to be. So skinny, active, the best mom out there, the PTO mom, the wife that does it all and has dinner on the table. And what I realized is that is not who I am, and that could not be enough to satisfy me. And so I had to dig deep. And as soon as I realized my why and where I wanted to be, that really gave me that laser focus to start to get things in priority and to get things right. And so, like I said, my why is at 38 years old, I want to be around for my girls, and I want them to have a good example of this is what health looks like, so that with any luck, they don't have to spend 27, 28, 36 years of their life trying to figure out what it was their mom had to do. And so I'm hopeful that that's it. I think the other thing is, you have to take care of you. No one else is going to take care of you. You know, your practitioner can't take care of you. Your significant other, your family can't take care of you. You are in control of how you feel, how you think, how you act. And so if you don't do that, no one else can do that. And, you know, as a nurse practitioner, I have a really unique perspective where I can care for all my patients, but I don't see them get better if it's not something that they believe up here. And so, you know, you desperately have to know that it's something you want to do, because nobody can wish it for you or make it happen if you don't have the mindset there. And then I also think you can't compare your journey. Too often in this world, I find even myself, less now than what it was before, but as I compare my journey to others, it sets me up for failure. I cannot compare somebody else's middle to my beginning, or somebody else's ending to my beginning. It's just not a fair perspective, and it just sets us up for disappointment and failure. And as soon as I realized that that stole my joy, and that stole my happiness, and that stole my health, I became a much better person, much happier person. And so that's my other thing is just to always, stay in my lane and focus on me, and not get into well, what is everybody else doing, and what does that look like, and having to be there. And it's a challenge every day, but it's a challenge that I'm happily taking on, because I realize the benefits to me have been huge in my emotional well-being.
That's awesome. Well, I'm going to just leave it there because that was perfect.
Okay.
Awesome.
Well, very good. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this. And I know that you were decided to do this interview while you were on your break in between patients. So I
Yep.
appreciate you taking the time. Thank you so much, Leah.
Hey, no problem, Kristen. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.